Hello everyone and welcome back to the land of insanity. Today we are going to get into rebelting this thing, my Pulsar CC4000. And the reason I'm doing this is because last time we finally got the Silver SR5000L to work properly. And this being a relative of that, I thought it would just make sense to get into this one and show you some of the differences and what you can expect from rebelting this mechanism. This way you guys can at least see how a couple of these mechanisms work, and maybe it'll help you with some other Shin Shirasuna made products like those made from under the Harman Kardon under the Harman Kardon brand name. So whether you've got a Silver unit, a Harman Kardon unit, a Montgomery Ward unit that also used Shin Shirasuna as an OEM, or Pulsar, maybe this will help you. Now the main difference between this, which is actually the Silver SR4400 and not the 5000, is the tape deck is quite a bit different. On the Silver unit, all of these buttons were momentary, but on this one, they push in and stay in. And that includes the record if you happen to have something in there recording. You can push the record button and it automatically records. You don't have to push play with it. But yeah, all the buttons stay in on this one. And on that one, they're momentary. But that's not the only difference, as we are going to find out on the inside. I'll just take this door off right away. But yeah, the other main difference is the tuner section. There's no long wave on this. And I believe the SR4400 does have the long wave stuff, but this being made for the North American market obviously doesn't have that. So yeah. Basically, all we're going to do on this today is rebelt it, because the last time I tried to play this, the belt slipped off. So there's quite a bit of belt stretch going on with this one. Now let me just show you inside here, and you'll see what I mean about the differences between this and the SR5000. The motor for this mechanism is here on this one. On the SR5000, it's buried under this part of the circuit board. So, yeah, that's your first hint already that there's a lot different with this. And also, the 5000 uses all kinds of different colored connectors. You've got black connectors for the tape deck and white for this, but in this one, it's all white everywhere. So you've got to make sure you keep track of where these connectors all go. And fortunately I haven't had these break on me yet, so hopefully that doesn't happen today. Anyhow, what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to get this apart off camera, because that part of it is the same as the SR5000. If you've serviced one, you've serviced them both. This part comes out and then you can remove this. It's the same way on both. So let me do that, and I'll get back with you shortly. Okay, so here we are. We've got the transport out. And before we get any further into this, I'll just show you one of the little modifications I did when I was a kid. See, I took this little circuit board with the power and FM stereo lights, and I modified it. There used to be two red LEDs here. One for power and one for FM stereo. Well, yours truly did not like having the power LED being the same color as the stereo LED, so I went ahead and swapped it over to a green one back in the day. I don't know what this one here would have been used for, but there's clearly a space for another LED there. But yeah, when I service this one, I always like to pull this little LED board out, because it's just a little easier to deal with. It goes right up behind here. And it's just easier to service the transport with that coming out with it, because otherwise it's directly soldered to the board. You would have to remember where those wires go. But I'll point that out right now just so you can see exactly where those wires go in case you need this information in the future, or I need this information in the future, because some of these wires do tend to break on you. Anyway, let's continue forward with this. I'm going to take this plate off first so we can get a better view of the transport. Don't know that it really does need to come off to service the belts, but might as well. And this plugs right into the other section of the unit. Plugs right into here. At least I think it does. Yeah, it goes right there. That 3-pin connector. So we won't worry about that for now. And yes, now we can see the mechanism. And let me see if I can give you a better look. If I can remember which is the zoom ring on this lens. But as you can see, kinda, maybe, we've got 2 belts in this mechanism. At least behind here. There's a counter belt back there too, but that goes in front and we're not servicing that because it's fine in this mechanism. So we've got 2 belts, a small square belt up here. I'll be replacing that. Then we've got the big flywheel belt, which is driven off of one big pulley here. See if I can show you. Yeah, it's got one big pulley in there. And the last time I tried to use this, that main flat belt was so loose that it just jumped right off the flywheel, and I couldn't get my tape out of there because this mechanism locks the tape door closed when it's in playback. So yeah, I had to really fight to get in there and get the mechanism out so I could get my tape back. So that was fun. Now what we need to do now is take this board off, and then we can get access to the motor and belts. So that's the next step. And I've had to do this before. The record switches on these get very dirty very quickly, so I've had to get in there and clean that before. So this is not the first time I've had this apart, but it's the first time in like maybe 20 years I've had it apart, so yeah. Now on this mechanism, it's a little different from the SR5000. This pin here, that's for the record switch. You got to make sure it goes inside the hole in this switch here so that this switch can work. I should probably clean that again while I'm in here, but I don't know if I will because I don't actually use this for playing tapes anymore. Okay, so now we've got real good access to the transport belts. And as you can see, this is extremely different from the SR5000 mechanism. It's just a whole other different mechanism entirely. So, what do I need to do now? I've never actually tried to get at the belts in this before because it's never needed belts before. I just have to make sure I know exactly how to get access to it. We've got a screw here, one here, one here, and let's see, is that all? No, I think we got to do this one here too. Sorry if I had you off camera there for a minute. And we might have to do this one as well. This is the little shock absorber for the cassette door to make it open a little more smoothly. So let's start pulling screws out and then we'll see how far we get with this. And like I said, can't talk today. I can confirm right now that this is the same motor used in the SR5000. So if you need a motor, go back to those videos, and I've got that information in that second video on the SR5000L. Okay, it seems like this is going to be the last screw. Yeah, it's all loose now. So 4 screws total to get that assembly off. And they do appear to be all the same type, so don't worry about mixing them up. Now off she comes. And I'll just feel for dead spots, and fortunately this motor does not have any dead spots. And I can tell you right now it was working the last time I tried it, so I'm not going to worry about it. Here's the pulley here. If you do have it off, make sure you take it off with the wide part at the top. Now, let's figure out what we need for belts. We are going to do both of these. And yeah, even the flywheel is different on this transport. So keep that in mind. Now, you got to measure for new belts. I'll get a couple of these mini screwdrivers out and we'll just see what we got here. Okay, this looks like it's 4 millimeters wide. So odds are pretty good I've already got a belt for it. And this one is at almost 4 inches, so that would be 8 inches internal circumference. And we know that's stretched, so I'm going to have to go with something a little tighter than that. And this one is 2.5. And that's also likely, well, 2.5 I said, but 5 inches internal circumference. So in the absence of any service data, what we usually do is deduct 10% from these to get our new value. So, what did I say, 8 inches for this? That would be... Boy, I can't think today. Let's get the phone out and do some calculating. Yeah, 7.2 inches for that one. I knew that. Why did I need a calculator for that? I don't know. My brain's out of it. And 5. So this ought to be 4.5. 7.2 and 4.5. That's what we're looking for. And divide that by 2 to get the right measurements against the tape. Let me see if I can get my package open with these gloves on. And we got all kinds of mess here to deal with. So, should be 3.6 for the main flat belt, if I'm doing my math right. That is going to be too long. That too short. That fell on the floor, which is always helpful. Too long. Too long. Too long. Let me get my old belts out of the way so I don't get them confused with the new ones. Way too long. There's got to be one in here somewhere. Too short. And this is always fun. I should get better organized, I know this, but whatever. Oh, I think we got a match here. Yes, that's a match. Now, what did I say for the other one? It was 5, it goes down to 4.5, so 2.25 for our little one. Where are the little ones in this package? They are all over the place. That's almost 2 inches. I'm using the same 1.2 millimeter wide belts that I used in the 5000. That's going to be too big. Yes, it is. So I don't know what that translates to non-metric, but I'll let you guys worry about that. I'm doing it the way I'm doing it. Weirdly, that is. Because I'm a weird guy. It's probably the one I measured before, yeah. Bunch of too small and too big belts here. I already dealt with that one. There's gotta be the right one in here somewhere. Way too big. And if there's not one in here somewhere, I've got a whole other package I haven't opened up yet. So, we'll find something. I should have really stored these in separate Ziploc bags or something like that so I could easily tell the flat ones from the little square ones. Oh, come on, there's got to be one here somewhere. Not that one, though. I might end up having to open up the other package. I was hoping there'd be more variety of belts in these cheap Chinese belt auctions. But it doesn't seem like there is much variety. Too small again. That's going to be way too big. That's 4 inches. And basically all of these are going to be useless. Yeah, I might be opening up that new package. I might be editing this part out. Yeah, I cannot find a belt. At least in this set. I gotta open up the new package. No way around it. Put these away. And because I'm a glutton for punishment, I will probably mix the new package in with all the rest of these. And forget everything I just said about being more organized. And while we're doing this, just a quick update from my last video. I did finally get my new car. It's out back as I speak. And it fortunately arrived with no issues, other than the ones I had trying to go get it in the middle of the bad season in Vancouver, in which I ended up not being able to actually go get it myself and had to have it shipped here. But it is here, and it's fantastic so far, but it's also German. That's something I didn't mention from my last video. I gave you a hint, but I didn't say outright it was German. So yeah, me being the glutton for punishment I am, I bought something that'll probably not make me very happy in the future, but for now it's making me very happy, so more on that the next time I do a photography video. Which might be any time between now and the heat death of the universe, considering how slow I am. That one's close. That's 2.5. That's the length of the old belt. Bingo! That's the ticket right there, and yes, I will make myself miserable. Just throw them all in there with the rest of the belts. See, I knew we would find one. Eventually. Now, before we deal with putting those on, oh, I should probably mention, the new belt is quite a bit wider than the old one. However, it should still work. And hopefully I'm keeping track of which is which here. I think I am, but I'm not sure here. Yeah, okay, new belts are there. Old belts are trash. I'm going to put them way off to the side so I don't get them confused again, like I did just now. Now, oh, we've got another belt. I did not see that one. We've got another belt going from here to here, so I guess I got to do that all over again. And this one's going to be real hard because, yeah, it overlaps this pulley, so that's going to be fun. But yeah, we'll replace that one too. Might as well while we're in here. And that could stand some oil as well, so we'll do that as well. Don't forget, we got to keep track of our oil seals. I'll just set that down on top of the pulley there. A little bit of dust in here, but not too bad. Now you can really see the differences in this mechanism from the 5000. Still uses a 4-belt setup, including the tape counter, but it's completely different configuration. So, where did I put my Andorol? Because I'm going to need that. It's on the shelf is where it is. Now this belt, what have we got going on here? This one is 2 inches on the dot, so 4-inch internal circumference. It's a little bit of a wider belt, it seems, than the other one that was on there, but yeah, 2 inches. Or 4 inches, rather. So we'll subtract 0.4. That gives us 1.6. No. Wake up, brain. You can do this. Okay, we need about a 1.8 belt for this application. So I'll reach over here, get into this thing again. And we'll see if I can get lucky and just take one off the top. That'll work. Ha! I got lucky. I hardly ever get lucky. You heard me. We'll just pretend I didn't say that. Okay. So I don't think I'll bother with doing too much lubrication to this mechanism because it does work. It just has loose belts. Loose belts that always slipped off and made my life miserable. So the first thing is we gotta get this belt all set up right away. And this is gonna be fun. But maybe it won't be too bad. Okay, that seems good. Now whenever you relube a capstan like that, you got to make sure you get in here and you clean the capstan real good so there's no oil on there anymore. You do not want oil on there. So I'm going to do that right now so I don't forget. Get a couple of cotton swabs. This needed a good cleaning anyway, so that's fine. Now we got to try and pick up our oil seal and get it back on there somehow, which is going to be interesting. But possible. There we go, that's all back together. And while we're at it, let's clean the heads too. That hasn't been done in ages on this unit. Use the one good side left on that. Should probably do the pinch roller too, but I'm not gonna. And yeah, maybe I should show you how to get at the counter belt as well while I'm here. Heck, maybe I'll even measure that for you. But for now, we gotta finish doing these belts. Now, another thing I'm gonna do is clean the old grease off this like I did with the SR5000. Actually, I don't think there's any old grease left. Is there? No, there's no grease left. Well, there's going to be grease now, I'll tell you what. Good old lubriplate. All right. Now we gotta somehow get these belts on. This will be the fun part. And by fun, I mean not fun at all. Because we gotta get this back in position somehow. Then get our belts on. Should also find out whether or not this belt is even going to work with its larger width. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. That will be just fine. This belt is twisted. Lovely. Well, folks, it's the moment of truth. Is my very first boombox that I got for my 12th birthday working now? We're about to find out. It's kind of a momentous occasion today because yesterday was my 48th birthday. So it's been, oh, let's see, way too long since I got this. Anyway, let's find out what happens. Okay, she's on, but the power LED is quite dim. Oh, it's struggling in there. You can see the take-up reel is barely turning, and I can just stop it dead anytime there. Not sure what's going on with this, but it looks like I'm going to have to do more service. I could try a tape, but you know what's going to happen there. This is going to stop, and it's going to eat the tape. At least I'm fairly sure it will. But since fast forward and rewind work, You might be able to recover from that. Let's just have a look. Nope, it's not working. Yeah, there's no way that's going to work. So I have to get back in there, and either it's the tape counter belt that's hanging up on something, or it's the one in behind that that drives that. And I'm betting it's going to be the tape counter belt. So it's a good thing I haven't thrown that belt away yet, because I might have to put that right back in there. So I decided to come back to this just a little bit later, and I'll be darned if I didn't find the problem. As you can see, I've got the little plate off that goes over the little counter belt, and well, I don't know how easily you can see it. Let me grab a flashlight here for you. You see those wires in there just above the tape counter? Well, yeah, those were stuck down in the belt. So in actuality, we have exactly the right belt on there for the counter. It was just getting hung up is all. Let me show you. It's freed up right now, but take a look at that. We've got a good amount of drag there, so that should work just fine for a cassette now. How's about we take a little second to test it? We'll leave the plate off for now. But look at that. Completely working, just like new. So we got it. It's all working. Well, except I need to get inside there yet and maybe find a way to get those belts out of harm's way there. Or rather, get those wires out of harm's way. But we got it fixed. At least I'm calling it fixed. So I guess that's going to be it for now. I'm going to leave the belts I used in the description of the video, so if you want to reference them down there, just take a look. See you next time. Take care.